Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Freed on Business. This is episode 864. And we've been on for a long time. I want to thank our sponsors, Warren Henry Automotive. Thank you to Larry, Eric, Warren, and the rest of the team over there. My favorite guy, Isman. Well, I guess Larry's my favorite. Well, they're all I love them all because they're like family. How do you pick your favorite family member? Today, we're streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, all everywhere. We're streaming everywhere live. And then when we're done, you can find us on all your favorite streaming formats. Today's topic is going to be the power of one simple promise, calling back. We're going to talk about that. Before we do, I'm going to give you a little story. I've had a group that's real interested in doing a deal. They've got an investor that's really interested in investing, or so we think. The investor keeps saying, I love the deal. I'll send you the LOI. It's been 3.5 weeks. We're waiting for the LOI. What does that mean? That means that I can't figure out what's going on. So I got to assume that the guy who's really interested just can't send the LOI. You know, it seems almost insignificant when you say that you're going to call somebody out, I'll call you right back, and then you don't. That's really a problem. When you say you're going to call somebody back and you make that statement, you're making a promise, and people remember how you handle promises. Trust is broken when you don't follow through. The number one thing that you have in life is the fact that people trust you. People take my phone calls because they trust me. They believe in me. I'm completely transparent. And when it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks and I can't get somebody to call back that said they'd call back on a deal, it kind of frustrates both sides. When you don't call back after you say you're going to call back, or you miss the deadline, it shows that you don't respect the other person's time. And remember, we always say it's always all about them. It's always all about the other person. So when you don't call them back, you're not really respecting their time. So how do they believe that you're really going to be respectful later on in the transaction? When you call somebody back and you live up to your promise to call them back, it differentiates you professionally. As much as I'd like to think that everybody calls back right away when they say they do. I know Miami Podcast Studios always calls back. He's nodding. He definitely does. He's giving me the thumbs up. But a lot of people say they're going to call back and they don't. Then you find them again a couple of weeks later. Hey, I went out of town. Hey, I got really busy. Hey, I couldn't get to the phone because my fingernails were polished. I don't know what it is, but the reality is, if you don't call back, it's a really simple thing. And it doesn't have to be a call back. It can simply be the 3 little bubbles on a text. Hey, when can we talk? Silence. Radio silence. There's nothing that speaks more volumes than total radio silence. Just go, hey, let's talk at 3. Hey, let's talk at tomorrow. Talk tomorrow at 3. And all you got to do is live up to that really simple promise. And if you don't, well, you just hurt your brand. You remember, we're always all about our brand. And on brand is being professional. For me, on brand is being professional, following up. I was taught, always follow up. I always call back within 24 business hours of calling back. Somebody calls me Friday at 6 o'clock. Well, first I'll see what makes it so urgent. Second, I'll try them on Saturday morning. Before or after I go to synagogue, I'll try them on Saturday morning. But the reality is that I'll call them back certainly by 10 o'clock on Monday, because it shows that they're important to me. Even if the situation that we're going to talk about isn't important, my relationship with the person is important, and my image in the marketplace is important. And whether or not you can trust me is important. And the way I can show that you can trust me is by merely keeping my word. My God, it sounds such a simple thing. And there's something that I like to refer to as transactional momentum or transactional pace. And this keeps the pace alive. Bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang. When you want to get when you want to get a quick turn on documents or an agreement, I guess agreement, document, same kind of thing. Feedback, and you say, I'm going to get them back to you. If you don't get them back right away, how do you expect the other person to respect you and turn it around real fast, especially when something's time sensitive? And then there's the really important one. When somebody puts everything on hold to deal with you and you're going to get right back to them and then you don't, time kills all deals. And you're creating a circumstance where somebody may lose an opportunity because they believed you. Let me tell you something. If somebody loses an opportunity because they believed you, depending on the nature of the opportunity and what the paper trail on that is, you could be liable for their losses, which would be a really bad thing to be. Again, the most important thing is making sure that your reputation is intact, that you're reliable, that you're always easy to reach, that you always follow through. I got to tell you, in my experience, that's only like 3 to 5% of the world. And that 3 to 5% knows each other and they do deals together. If you're not interested, the number one thing that you can do rather than go radio silent is give them, other than saying yes, the most valuable thing that you can do for somebody is give them a quick no. I'll say it again. A quick no is better than a long drawn out yes or a maybe, or I'll do it in a few weeks, or I'll look at it, or just going radio silent. Ridiculous. And what does this silence do? It creates uncertainty. And uncertainty kills relationships. It kills deals. You wonder, did the person forget? Are they not interested? How hard should I push them? Should I move on? And the answer is almost always, you should always move on. So a quick callback is really important. Even if it's just to reschedule, it's really important because it reduces ambiguity and creates your image in the marketplace as a clear, honorable person. Now we're going to take a quick break to talk about our friends at Warren Henry who always follow up. In fact, I can get Ismet when I call him. He always picks up. Even in a meeting, he calls back. But we'll do that. We'll come back with the bottom line right after this short break for Warren Henry Automotive. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry Automotive. They've been sponsors of the Freedom Business Podcast for 16, 17 years. I lose count at this point, and it really doesn't matter because whenever I call them, they're always there for me. Ismet calls back. Larry responds to text immediately. Eric always has the rejoinder for the good idea whenever we share it. And Warren's just he's like the most wonderful person on the face of the earth, always projecting calmness and professionalism. And what is that? That's their brand. Their brand is that it's always about you, that you're like family to them, that it's always Warren Henry, but always Warren Henry means you. So whether you want to go to their store up in Gainesville for an Audi, whether you want to go down to the Keys where they sell all their great nameplates, whether you're going to go to West Broward or South Dade for their award-winning Lexus, their award-winning Land Rover, Range Rover stores, whether you want to go to their headquarters at 151st and Biscayne where they sell Land Rover, Range Rover, Jaguar, Lincoln, doesn't matter. One thing I can guarantee you for sure is they'll always call you back. Always. Hey, high five to my salesperson specialist, Sebastian, who always calls me back. Ismet picks up all the time. In fact, Ismet even gave me his battery one day when it was running down. He said, Jim, take it. So I have the extra battery. Thank you to Ismet for that. So if you want to be treated like family, join me, my beautiful wife, Vivian, my mom, lots and lots of my clients and friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too, because they always call back. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this edition of Freed on Business, where we're talking about calling people back. It seems real simple, but a lot of people don't do it, and it projects who they are. But before we talk about the bottom line, I want to remind everybody, I'll always call you back. There's my phone number. There's my email. Reach out to me. I help family offices, high net worth investors, institutions, all kinds of people in real estate and private equity get deals done. I've even entered the banking industry, and I'm working with a couple of banks now. So reach out to me, DM me, call me, doesn't matter, because whenever you call me, it'll always be all about you. And now we're going to get back to our podcast theme, which is callbacks. And what does that mean about your personal brand? You know, it's really not about the callback and the call itself. It's about the integrity that you build when you make small promises. People assume how you handle these small things is how you're going to handle the big things. And if you can't handle the small things like a callback or even a, hey, I'll call you later text, well, people don't think you'll be there when it comes time to really make the big decisions. And if you want to make this important, you got to realize that it's about your personal brand. We always talk about the personal brand. My personal brand is that I feel great by helping other people achieve their goals and objectives. How do I do that? I return their calls. I communicate with them as instantaneously as possible. If I'm not feeling like it and I'm not feeling 100% on my game, I probably won't pick up the call, I'll let it roll over. But the minute I'm back on my game, usually that means I've had enough. I have more coffee or have more water or a little sugar or whatever it might be. I call them right back, because nobody is more important to me than the person on the other end of the phone, or in this case, on the other end of the podcast. So reach out to me, DM me, and remember, always call back. You can look up, you can find old editions of Freed on Business on YouTube, LinkedIn, every place you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we're everywhere. And why do we do that? Because we want to make sure that you can get us wherever and whenever you want. And if you can't find us, we flashed all my phone numbers. You see my email addresses there. Just reach out to me. I'll make sure you get on our distribution list. And remember, the person that wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse, and that's the person that doesn't call you back. They're finding an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Miami Podcast Studios, do your thing.